With all the excitement around the Frozen sequel, some people have been saying that there should be a Tangled sequel. Well, for those of us who might not already know, there is a Tangled sequel, but the question is, should you watch it? This is me, I'm so royal. Hello and welcome to the Queendom. I'm Sarah Engel, and today we are going to, well, what are we doing today? And today we're going to talk. So if you didn't know that there was a sequel to Tangled, there is, and it's called Tangled the Series, and it's available on Disney Channel, Disney Now, and iTunes. A few months back, there were some tweets going around about Frozen 2 and there being a sequel, and somebody out there said something to the effect of, why isn't there a Tangled sequel? It's such a good movie, there should be a sequel. And there's a tweet, and I screenshotted it. Okay, it says, well, hashtag Tangled is trending and everyone is like, boo, no sequel. Well, it already exists. Disney does an awful job at advertising it, but at Big Pants, at Big Pants is Chris Sonnenberg, the executive producer, and his team have done a wonderful job continuing these characters' story. So if you want to come see it, watch it when Disney Plus comes out. Unless you're one of our Tangled the Series super fans, you might not even know that there is a Tangled the Series. And if you do, you might think of it like some of the 90s cartoons. Like there was a Little Mermaid series, and it was just lots of random little episodes. And it was definitely geared towards little kids. So you might think that it's like that. But Tangled the Series is nothing like that. It is truly a sequel to the movie. And in my opinion, it is better than the movie. I love it. It makes the movie better. And it also stands alone as a really, really fascinating story. The show, for a Disney Channel show, has not been what Disney Channel would consider a successful show. And so they don't really give it the attention that it deserves. When you think of Disney Channel, the things that Disney Channel considers the most successful are things like Descendants. Their core audience is primarily preteen girls, especially. So if you think of like that 9 to 11 age range, that is their absolute core demographic and who they want their shows to do really well with. Even though the show has an extremely loyal fan base, it is not at all the audience that the Disney Channel as a whole is geared towards. So that's kind of why I'm hoping with Disney Plus, now that it's gonna be available to basically everybody, a lot of the people who are in that core audience that would actually like the show don't watch or have access to the Disney Channel. And a lot of times little kids can still enjoy it too. Nothing in it is inappropriate, though I do think some parts of it are a little scary. And it goes definitely a lot deeper, a lot darker, and is a little bit more of an intellectual story and has a lot of lore in it. If you're into lore, if you're into like really good storytelling, if you're into anime, if you're into Star Wars, and you also like Disney, you're going to love this. You're kind of finding out the magic behind Rapunzel's hair and seeing where that came from and like these ancient stories coming together and learning so much more about the original plot. Like it really, really takes Tangled in places that you don't have time in the movie to get into, like what causes that magic. Things that go back for thousands of years before the movie took place. So it is more like Star Wars meets Disney Princess. And you know what? I was messaging Chris Sonnenberg, the executive producer, and he's, by the way, super, super nice guy. He loves his fans. He just really respects his fans and shares so much stuff that the fans post, whether it's singing along to the songs on TikTok or the fan art. But we were actually talking and I said it kind of reminded me of Star Wars crossed with Disney princesses. And I said, you know what, that's honestly like the highest compliment I think I know how to give, because I love Star Wars. And he's like, me too. So I really appreciate that. I was like, I can tell, it all makes sense now. You love Star Wars, you're really into Disney, and that was why we have Tangled the Series. You guys, it's seriously so good. And another group of people, if you like Disney music and like sing along with the Disney music, like the great princess music, you want to see this show, even just listen to the soundtrack. There are like gems of songs in this. And that is because I think a lot of people who haven't seen the show don't know all the original voice actors came back. And Alan Menken, who wrote the songs for the original Tangled, also wrote all of the songs for Tangled the Series, which is insane. He's one of the most talented composers. So if you're somebody who loves like Disney songs, singing along with the songs, you are missing out on seriously some of the best princess songs. I kind of like the music maybe even better than like Tangled the Series. I like it better than Frozen. It's good. It's not something you would expect out of a TV series. Waiting in the Wings, Ready as I'll Ever Be, I'll Make You Proud. There's so many good ones, so many. And not to mention like the theme song's great with the wind in my hair. You're gonna be blown away. As much as I'm like, Tangled the Series is my absolute favorite Disney thing ever, and I mean that. It really, really is. I like it more than the movie. I like it more than, honestly, any Disney movie. It's so good. It's like my favorite Disney thing, period. But I would probably recommend you skip. Anything that happens is like an island. Everything's still beautiful, and I love what you do with it. I just don't, anything that happens on the island feels so random. So if you're watching through it, you can skip everything that happens on the island. Otherwise you might, because I was afraid, I was like, oh no, I guess the story's gonna just go this weird route now, and I don't know where it's going. It didn't make any sense. You can just skip that. It's another similarity to anime. What was it called? Like the filler episodes. It really felt like filler. So season 3 starts today. Yay! And maybe at some point in season 3, we will get to see maybe why some of the island was relevant. Maybe it ties into the story. And they're actually airing episodes every single day this week. Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday. Wait, what? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There is a new episode every day this week. But that doesn't mean that there's not time for you to catch up, because you gotta catch up first. You can catch up on iTunes. You can watch all the episodes on iTunes, just buy a season pass. It is a little confusing because I think you have to buy a separate season pass for the first half and the second half of season 1. The show changed names. It started off as Tangled the Series, and then all of a sudden it was like halfway through season 1, the show changed names to Rapunzel's Tangled Adventure. And everybody kept calling it Tangled the Series. And honestly, I think this is part of the reason why I feel like the show wasn't successful. I feel like it was marketed pretty poorly. And I think I am qualified to say that because I have a master's degree in marketing and used to work in it in corporate. And if you search for it, you don't know, like, am I supposed to be searching for Rapunzel's Tangled Adventure or Tangled the Series? So if you do decide you want to watch this, a little bit of what to expect. Season 1 is, like I said, if you buy it on iTunes, split into 2 different sections. So season 1 is all set, for the most part, it's in Corona. There's this backstory that is like this arch of Rapunzel's dad. And you kind of see how the original movie and all what happened with him now relates to him now and how he interacts with his daughter. So all of the first season happens inside of Corona. Season 2 all happens outside of Corona, is kind of Rapunzel exploring outside of Corona. Season 2, oh my goodness, some of the best plot twists of all time. Just some of the greatest character development, things that I was not expecting. Some things that you think that you maybe were expecting, and then they took you down a different path, and so you thought, okay, no, they're not gonna do that, and they did bring it back. And then just other things that I was like, wait, what? It totally changed the entire dynamic of all of Tangled, like the original movie, and made it so much better and more meaningful. And it's just so good. The entirety of Tangled the Series happens in between Tangled, the original movie, and then Tangled Ever After, which is the wedding, which is cool too, because for one of the first times you really see the development of a relationship between two characters, like Disney, like a Disney princess and her love interest before they get married. Because the audience that loves it loves it, like cherish it, like think it is one of like this absolute masterpiece. And it really has the biggest cult following, like hardcore following of I think anything I've ever seen Disney do. It's a little scary almost, just like how invested in it some people really are. It's something that deserves a lot more attention. So I hope that if you are somebody who feels like it might be of interest to you, that you come jump on the train. I hope you join us, become one of the Black Rockers. If you have seen Tangled the series, please tell all of our friends in the comments below who haven't seen it yet. Like, leave a comment and let them know maybe something that it reminds you of or why you really like it, because it's just so unique. It's really difficult to explain to people who haven't seen it before. So I would love your help with that in the comments so that all of our friends who haven't seen it yet can get kind of a picture of what it's like and maybe want to watch it too. I sound constantly like I'm sponsored by Tangled the series. Not just in this video, but like every time I open my mouth and something reminds me of Tangled, because it's so good. And I hope that you will join me and just experience how much joy and just like excitement it brings. Anyway, if you want to see more videos like this, remember to subscribe. We put out new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you want those videos to come right to you, remember to ring the little bell. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the last season. The last season. I'm not ready for this. I'm not emotionally prepared. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. The Frozen 2 sequel, I guess it's the Frozen sequel, Frozen 2. Sequel, well. There's a hair on my phone, that seems appropriate. On theme. It was at least 200. Actually, I did hiccups.